Carly and my little baby. Are you gonna make my video today? Okay, let mommy do the video. Y'all, it's so funny. I feel like whenever I do a book review, my animals come to me and they're just like, I want to be in the video. I want to know what you're talking about. I want to snuggle. And I'm like, girl, I gotta do my video. But anyway, hey y'all, it's Carly, and in this video I'm going to be doing a book review of Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. Colleen Hoover is hands down one of my favorite authors. I've done a bunch of book reviews of several of her other books here on my channel, so if you're interested, check it out. I do have a playlist. I'll link it above, somewhere above up here. In that playlist I have all of my book reviews, so if you like these book reviews, definitely check them out in that playlist, and you can just watch all of them right on in a row. But without further ado, let's get straight on into this video about Reminders of Him. Okay y'all, so similarly to a lot of the books I read, I am not the type of person that can pick up a book and read it within a span of like a month, you know? Like I usually pick up a book and finish it that day or like in that week at least. It usually does not take me a week to read something, but I genuinely can't like spend a long time on a book. So this book took me a couple hours to read actually. I read it in one night. That was not the plan, but I picked it up and I never put it down, never took a break, and I'm not regretting it. I'm not regretting it at all. I certainly loved starting it that day and finishing it, but that should tell you a little bit something. Like, it wasn't so boring where I had to put it down. But anyway, let's get into a little synopsis of this book. So after 5 years of serving time in prison, Kenna goes back to the town where she made her mistakes that caused her to go to jail, and she is on the hunt for her 4-year-old daughter. However, because of all of the bridges that Kenna burnt, you know, during her time of rebellion, I'll call it, she like burned all those bridges, so it's really hard to get back to her daughter. And Kenna is determined to prove herself worthy of being a good mother at this time, and no matter how hard she tries to prove herself worthy of being a good mother, everyone in her life seems to push her away and really not want her in the daughter's life or even in the family's lives. So the only person that hasn't closed Kenna completely out of their lives is Ledger. He's a local bar owner, and he has a few remaining ties to Kenna's daughter. But their relationship, it started out like as a surprise. Like, she didn't originally know who he was, but you know, stuff happens and they realize they've known each other for a while. So Ledger feels as though Kenna's daughter is really important to him, and he is friends with Kenna's family, and so he knows that if he is friends with Kenna, then he can break all of the ties that he has with the 4-year-old daughter. So they shouldn't really be communicating at all, but they are. And as they spend more time together, they actually have a romance going on as well, and the risk grows more there because they're not even just being friends at this point. They shouldn't even be friends, but the risk is definitely growing because they are having this little romance thing going on. So that is where I'm gonna stop with the synopsis. I feel like you get the gist of it. This girl, she's trying to find her daughter. Not find her daughter, I feel like she kind of knows where her daughter is, but like just get back in contact with her daughter, who is 4 years old after spending years in prison for a mistake that she made. Now, let's dive into my opinions of this story. So, I have read lots of Colleen Hoover's books, and compared to the other ones, this book was not as action-packed or romantic as her other ones, but the storyline was super unique compared to her other books. I feel like I probably don't connect to this book as much as parents would, because I don't have my own kids. I don't know the connection that parents have to their children. I am a pet mom, but I know it's totally different. So I feel like this book, especially for people who don't have custody of their children, I feel like they would be super drawn to this book, because I feel like they would have a lot of emotions that connect to Kenna, the character in the story. And I also feel like people who have been incarcerated would also relate to the emotions and the details that are in this story. But because I don't have children and I've never been to jail and I don't have the same experiences, I feel like I don't relate as much to the emotion in it. However, I do love the book, and I do think the writing in it is just brilliant. And I feel like even though I don't connect to the actual experiences in it, I love all the characters, and it's so heartfelt, and you can really be like emotionally attached to these characters and really feel for them and the situations that they're in. So that is my little book review. Overall, I give this book a 4 sparkles out of 5 sparkles. A lot of her books I give a 5 sparkles out of 5 sparkles, hands down, but this one wasn't really drawing me in as much as her other works are. Not to say this is a bad book. I really enjoyed it. I finished it in one night. But compared to her other work, it wasn't like the best thing in the world. And I say that because there are a lot of parts in her book that were super slow and not as detailed and like action-packed as I like. And I know that that is just something that builds up to the actual story. Like, you can't have, you know, a bunch of action-packed pieces all jammed in there to make a good story. I know you have to take some beats that are just slow, but it was hard for me to hold my attention because those parts were getting a little bit slow for me. But overall, still a 4 sparkles out of 5 sparkles, so that is great. And I would recommend this book, especially to the category of people I touched on a little bit ago. But that is the end of this book review. I hope you enjoyed it. I will have more soon. All of my social medias are linked in the description below, so check those out, and I'll see y'all in my next video. I love y'all. Bye.